How's it going, everybody? This is just an update on whether or not the market is going to correct. And I have taken my first steps by de-risking, a lot of my positions, only because now we have started to potentially confirm a pivot of the 1618. And I'm not saying that we particularly have topped for sure. I do believe that there is still potential for one last push up into the region closer to the 110,000 range for Bitcoin. However, in terms of how long this move has left to go, from my measure, we generally want to be de-risking at the 1618 area and waiting for a reset of sorts. This doesn't mean that the absolute top for the market's in. There could be a situation where I've mentioned in previous videos where this pushes down and then it re-pushes and retouches the 1618, similar to how the 2021 bull market finished off. And one of the reasons here to my de-risking is I'm seeing key similarities. I know the context is a little bit different, but we're breaking below. Let me try to find lines to draw structure here. So if I were to get this, just drawing these lines just so we can see what it looks like. It does appear that we're breaking structure similar to this area from September 2021, and I can show the chart in a second. And what it's showing similarities with is on altcoins, similar to what BTC was like in that region. So what do I mean by that? As you can see, this is where I circled out on the Tether dominance chart, and you can see that there is a accumulation event and an expansion, but not one that is completely impulsive. It's more of a staggered rise, which starts to break down, right? Break down below its lows, retest the mid level, and then have a correction that takes out the lows that is created by the initial breakdown, right? And where do we see this? If we can go to the other charts, so I'll have the Bitcoin chart at the bottom, and I'll just have two random charts here for context. So just note the Bitcoin chart at the bottom. I'll put an ARB chart up, and I'll put a WorldCoin chart up, just so we can see. Actually, maybe something else. Maybe something like, yeah. We'll use Optimism, and we will use ARB, right? And what similarities do we see sort of like here? Let me break this down here. I pulled it all the way back. Hopefully we can make this easy to read. Maybe it works better if I put them side by side. Yes, it does. Perfect. So if I were to put them side by side, at the moment, it looks like all of these charts have had like some sort of accumulation here, right? A first impulse push up. Apologies for this terrible drawings. A staggered move to the range mid-level. If I zoom out, this is sort of that range mid-level, right? Range mid-level, sort of like this. I'll zoom out a little bit. And now we have had our initial breakdown. I know optimism has gone above that mid-level of this range, but the principle sort of still remains the same for things like ARB, because not the entire market is looking strong. We have your Link, we have what else? Aave and other strong performers at the moment, but they are outliers in comparison to everything else. And should that tether dominance start to pivot, we'll likely see another breakdown on a lot of altcoins revisiting the lows created pretty much 5 days ago, so not longer than a week ago. And should that happen, I think there would be really good opportunities to add or re-add to the longs. Should we start to break up, like I said, Bitcoin might have an opportunity to go to that $110,000 region or 120, like somewhere around there, and the altcoins happen to push up. I still think there are diminishing returns and higher risk at this stage of this part of the macro move up, whereby we might push up here, but we'll still have a significant dump should Bitcoin experience that tether pivot later on. So I'll show you what I mean by that with the tether dominance chart. We're either going to go like this, and maybe we return to the 1618 level, or there's a continued push down, but it's unlikely after having a 7-month compression phase that we only push up for this long. So I am thinking the base case here is that we pull back somewhere here, and then we revisit, and then that's the final push of the market. And during that period of time, there's a lot of tether that is being minted, allowing a further expansion in the market higher than the levels that we see now, right? Or alternatively, we will see another push to the 1618, and then a push down, and then a push up, right? So those are the two scenarios that I'm thinking. If not now, then correct later, right? And the actual returns here are too risky to stay ultra risk on. So if you've made profits, maybe take some off the table. That is what I've done already, but it's obviously a progressing situation, and I did think that Bitcoin had a little bit more in the tank, and Decembers are usually bullish. Should September be bullish, but they're just statistically, I guess, probable events, but the actual pool of data is small to choose from there, so it's not a guarantee ever. Now that I'm seeing this, out of the other 5 times or 4 times it's been measured, the 1618 is the significant pivot where markets generally find local tops, or even macro tops. Something to be mindful of as we progress through the week. I think, stay safe and make sure you take the opportunity to size in should there be a correction. I might go over when to do that in the next video. Cheers.